We are Mike and Taylor, and these are our dogs, Penny and Lucy. 4 years ago, we sold our home and everything we owned, moved onto a 40-foot boat, and sailed from Seattle. This is the story of us making our way. Made for you. Hello, do you like cats? Guilty. Just shake your wallet. Enjoy it. Welcome back, friends. We've been in Cartagena, Colombia now for exactly 1 month. And its stark contrast to the remote islands of San Blas, Panama, where we spent the previous 4 months, have been a feast for our eyes and our stomachs. We've spent most of this month here in a fancy Airbnb that we shared with 6 other friends, where we have been shamelessly soaking up the many luxuries of land life. We hauled Via out and got new bottom paint. We toured the city with Mike's folks who came to visit, and we've generally been going all out here, enjoying not only the colors and culture of Colombia, but the time with our friends, as we know that when we leave here, we will be parting ways with a large portion of this group that we've been traveling the world's oceans with for the last year or more. We've really fallen in love with the city of Cartagena, and it has been an incredible and super busy few weeks. And now, just days after moving out of our Airbnb, a rare weather window has taken shape, which will allow us to make the otherwise pretty impossible journey northeast out of South America. So the scramble is on to get Via ready for a long journey across the Caribbean Sea. Dogs have gotten their travel papers, Via has been topped off with fuel, and our moment of departure is approaching. It is our last day in Colombia. These last few days have been like roller coasters. I tell you, these days before bigger passages are just like, they're so intense. Like, there's just so much weather watching and things change, and we're traveling with buddy boats, which is wonderful, but there's like so much, and it's wonderful that there is so much back and forth, but it's just like this, it's a really like all-consuming thing. Really, the hang-up is that we have to wait on our paperwork to get out of Colombia, so we can't leave until we get our passport stamped, and that was always meant to be some ambiguous time on Monday afternoon, but things move very slowly here, and Monday afternoon does not always mean Monday afternoon. But Mike messaged our agent who helps with these check-ins and check-out procedures, messaged her this morning and being like, can we make this happen at like 6 a.m. tomorrow, like as early as possible, because we need to go. And I guess he just heard back from her, and she's gonna do it all today. So we're gonna get checked out and cleared today, which is incredible. Which means we can leave super early tomorrow morning, which all really good news. But that just turned today into like, oh dang, like we gotta go. So we have a lot of things, not a lot of things, but just like big things. Like Mike still has a project or two that he wants to tackle, so he's gonna do that. We've got to provision. We still haven't bought food since we moved out of the yard. So our fridge is totally empty. So we've got to go to the grocery store, and then I'd like to do some cooking and food prep because I can't do that underway at all. And this is a week-long passage we're going on. So today just got real. There's a lot going on. It's been up and down and back and forth, and I don't know. And all of a sudden we just found like the gas pedal. So it's time to get dressed and get out of here and go start tackling some of these projects today. So
we are now in preparation mode for our departure from Cartagena. So the bottom is freshly painted, so we have a nice clean bottom. We had them polish and wax the hull, which is a big, just laborious job, and it looks pretty good. But the main things that I want to do are, number one, we've been wanting to add tension to our forestay for a while, and just haven't really gotten to it, or haven't had the opportunity because we have to drop the Genoa, so we need like very little or no wind. We have a nice calm morning, so I'm going to try to do that and then add a little tension to the forestay. It's not bad, it's just a little, feels like it just needs a little bit more. So I'm going to do that, and then we got our nice new sail pack. But the guys who made the sail pack, when they were messing with the sail, they like undid our reef lines and stuff. So before we get out in the ocean, I want to make sure that our reef lines are all set the way they ought to be. So those are my 2 tasks this morning, and hopefully the wind stays nice and calm. So first thing I'm going to do is drop the genoa. Okay, when you weren't looking, I got all the reef lines done on the mainsail. So that's all set, which is good. It's still nice and calm out here. So now I just got to take apart the rest of the furler and then tighten up the forestay. So main thing here is making sure that I don't lose any parts overboard, because that would be real bad. I've got this sort of rigged up. So this is the genoa halyard, and it's just going to kind of support the foil, make sure once I undo these that the foil doesn't just slide down the forestay. So that's kind of the main thing there, and then you can use that to lift it out of your way if you need to. But alright, I think that's about right. So I'm just gonna put the furler back together and then get the genoa back up.
We got our laundry back, all folded and beautiful from the laundry service here. Isn't that nice, Pen? Isn't that nice? Put her there. Oh my God. It's so hot. It is 3:30. We are leaving tomorrow morning. We just provisioned. So, I have to put this stuff away, and then I have to do some cooking, some food prep, so that we have some things to eat on this week-long passage that we're going to be on. Mike needs to like secure Chandler to the deck properly. I'd like to wash the dogs probably before we go to get the city grime off of them, and maybe fill our water tanks, but otherwise I think we're doing pretty good. Like, it's just crazy. Our agent has picked up our passports. She's supposed to bring them back tonight at like 5, so it's soon, a couple hours. We've checked out of the marina, we've paid the marina. I don't know, we've gone through all of the things on our list, and so we're about there. This is the last straw. That's not the right expression. This is the last thing. Blech. Not really looking forward to this. It's been a long time since we provisioned to put stuff away, but here we go.
Oh, it's really early on Monday morning, and I got up to get the boat ready to go leave Cartagena and go to Puerto Rico, hopefully. So it's like 700 miles, I think, and mostly benign weather. The main thing is we really got to get in before sundown on Saturday night, because that's when the forecast is supposed to go from fairly light wind to like 25 to 30 knots out of the northeast. We are gonna be motoring pretty much probably about the whole way, and maybe be able to shut the engine off occasionally when we get a favorable little bit of wind. And I think the deciding thing on whether we make it or not is going to be currents, largely. I guess also maybe a little bit the wind, but there's generally adverse currents throughout much of this passage going this direction, and if they're strong or cover enough of the area, then it might slow us enough that we're actually not going to make it before that bad weather comes in. So we'll see how things are going. We have a couple options to bail. First one would be the ABCs. Well, first one would be Santa Marta, still in Colombia. We'd have to check back into Colombia. Then it would be the ABC Islands, and then probably after that would be the Dominican Republic. So I don't know, we'll see. I'm feeling pretty good that we're gonna be able to make it, but I want to get out of here as early as possible. If we had been able to, we probably really should have left last night, but we still got a few things to do. So right now I gotta put some waypoints into our chart plotter, and then getting all the sails and everything ready, checking engine fluids, all the usual stuff. So day one.
Okay, guys. It's departure day. I have a whole lot of emotions right now. I'm so sad to be leaving this group of people, that most of whom we won't see again because we're going different directions after this. I'm also extremely nervous because even though we should have kind of benign conditions for the first couple days, this window that we have closes really hard and really fast. It's like unclear if we're going to be able to make it. So Puerto Rico might not ending up being our end destination. It might be, I don't know. We're going to have to make a call and see how things develop over the next couple days. But yeah, I'm a little bit nervous about getting caught in something. And Mike's just walking the dogs one last time because this is going to be a long passage for them. This is our longest passage. If we do make it to Puerto Rico, this is our longest passage that we've done. And so after he gets back, we're going to push off. It's like 7:30. Here we go.
Sailing vessel Via, hailing on 16. Yeah, it's the sailing vessel Via. We are preparing to depart Cartagena. We will be using the Boca Grande entrance.
The report has a nice trip. Thank you so much. Have a nice day, sir. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Alright, we're out of here. 700 miles to go.
So we have another little bit of a sketchy thing leaving here. So the Port of Cartagena has like two entrances.
One is like the main ship channel called Boca Chica. The other one is called Boca Grande.
And coming in, we obviously use the south entrance because we were coming from the south, and we're gonna try to use the north entrance to get out of here because obviously we're going north and it'll literally cut off like 3 hours because this bay is so huge. However,
way back, I don't know what year, but back in olden times, they built an underwater seawall to protect the bay.
there's a concrete wall across this entrance.
And like if there's big swell running, there's like breakers over it, but sea conditions are very calm today.
I've read a lot of forums, people say it's fine as long as you stay in the channel, you know, dead center or whatever, but it is a little bit sketchy because we're gonna drop from, you know, whatever this bay is, like 60 feet to like 15, going over a piece of concrete before we're out of the bay. While it's not exactly a bank of concrete, it's close enough. To protect the city of Cartagena from attack, in 1771, work began to close off the Boca Grande entrance by building an underwater jetty. With a base of baskets and sand, rows of large stone are placed on top, with only a small channel cut through the middle.
It's a little nerve-wracking. Boats have hit ground there before. I think mostly because they've turned too quickly after thinking they've made it through.
And you would never know it's there. Like, it's, you know, there's no indication that there's a concrete wall under the water. So we're approaching this wall. I can see the markers now. It's super narrow. Oh.
still on 19, but I think we're about to cross the shallow section.
Shouldn't the shallow section be where the markers are?
You would think. We're getting shallow now.
How shallow?
11 feet.
We're back in the 16.
Okay.
Alright, I think we're through. It's down to 10 feet.
It got down to 10 feet, Jesus. What is it now? Okay. Whew. Bye, Columbia.
Making really good speed. I think we have a little bit of current with us, like 10 to 12 knots of wind, and normally that would just make for a beautiful sail. We're making it a motor sail so we can really keep our speed up, because I think we're going to need that on the back end. But we have like a little current with us now, which is not going to probably last too long, but we're making like 7.5 knots, so at least we're flying. To have 2 buddy boats on this trip. One of them, Jubal, just left Cartagena. They had to wait to go a couple like boat things this morning and then a meeting for work. So they're underway. But then our other friends, I feel so bad for them. They went to start their engine a few hours back and their battery switch just fried, like melted. They are frantically trying to get underway. But right now we're just alone out here. About 3 a.m. and I am really struggling to stay awake. I just kind of keep putting my head down for like a minute and almost dozing off. I look like I get jolted awake by a big wave usually. It's been an okay day. We're kind of really bashing into it. There's not a lot of wind. It's like 11 to 13 knots of wind, but it's just a lot of wind chop, and we're kind of just, as is often the case, the wind is coming directly from where we want to go. It is supposed to clock around a little bit in like a little after sunrise, and then the wind's supposed to die throughout the day. So motor sailing, we're just trying to keep our like VMG up. So we're just like sort of keep feathering the autopilot to give us the highest VMG. But there's a full moon, so it's actually really beautiful out here. If I can keep my eyes open. We had a rather bashy night. Kind of ended up mainsail, staysail, and the motor sailing like 20, 22 knots, or 20 to 22 degrees off the wind. So just like sailing as high as we could with the motor. We really need to be getting north as much as we can by Friday like afternoon, because then the wind fills in from the north, and then hopefully we'll be high enough that we can cut over to Puerto Rico. But it's just been a lot of like smashing into the waves. So I got a few hours of sleep this morning. I don't think Taylor got ton last night, and the dogs are not happy. It's hard coming from being in a city for a month to being out here, but the good news is we're making good time, good miles. And our friends on Jubal are like, I think almost 60 miles behind us, 55 miles behind us, so I don't know if they're gonna catch up or not, because we've actually been moving fast. But we're well offshore now, so it's just us and tanker ships really.
We played with our sails and heading often, trying to make the most out of every puff of wind that drifted our way, while keeping our VMG as high as possible. But by sunset, our nice little current boost had shifted, and our speeds began to drop by several knots. Join us next time as we see the ocean like we've never seen it before.
Between the wind angle and the current we have going on, we're having trouble keeping our boat speed up.
And we race against the return of the reinforced trade winds and make a run for Puerto Rico.